name of this awesome intro is 8-Bit Dungeon Boss by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incompetech.com. Tonight we'll be playing part 2 of Psi Shift. This was our special Halloween session for October, and the second half is being released much later than October, but maybe you're still in the spooky vibes. I know I am. I want to say thank you to ELH for releasing this module, and neither the author ELH nor the content within is endorsed, sponsored, or affiliated with CBS Studios Incorporated, Paramount Pictures, Modiphius Entertainment, or the Star Trek franchise. The Star Trek franchise and related logos are owned and registered trademarks of Paramount Pictures and CBS Studios. We're just big fans. This episode we actually used a extended tracker image and method of tracking in Roll20 that we found on GM Josh on the GM Josh YouTube channel. So thank you, GM Josh, for making that available for Star Trek Adventures players. And we got a link to his video in the description, so you can go check that out if you want to use the same one. We really appreciate that. In this section, we use pictures from the Star Trek Adventures core rulebook, as well as pictures from Star Trek Online. So let's get spooky.
Captain's log, stardate 23634.1. While on patrol in the Shackleton Expanse, we received a chaotic distress call from a station that, for all intents and purposes, just shouldn't exist. Our away team, consisting of Chief Engineer Amila, Science Officer Lieutenant Soraya, Security Officers Lieutenant and Commander Thela, and Ensign Callahan, my CMO Narth, and myself, arrived on a less than chaotic station and were greeted by the station's Chief Hubbard and Ensign Levy. Chief Hubbard is annoyingly preoccupied and seems to be oddly resistant to my request in reenacting the ancient Earth tradition of "take me to your leader." So here's hoping we all don't get beamed into space, because that's uncomfortable. Don't ask.
And just as you can finish your report, you're closing out your comm badge or whatever it is that you're using to record. You hear a crash outside the room as gears and sprockets are grinding together, and it just sounds like a complete crescendo of chaos just behind Lieutenant Soraya and Dr. Narth. Can I get each of you to separate roll? Control or presence plus command, either one.
1 success.
All right.
And 1 for Russell, looks like 2. 1 for Dr. Narth.
All right. How about Amelia? Could I also get you to roll the same, either a control plus command or a presence plus command?
Control or command or presence and command?
That's correct. Marina, I guess.
And 2 dice, right?
All right, so you all succeeded. You all succeeded in maintaining your sanity as you witnessed horrific images at the end of the last session.
Excellent.
But Captain Ukale and Lieutenant Thela, you turn to, startled by the noise outside the door, and while your backs are facing the door, you hear a voice from behind. "It's about time you got the hell off of my station." It's in the same voice. It's in the same voice, although much different attitude. But it sounds like it's Chief Hubbard.
So he's in front of me, but the voice is coming from behind.
You turn to look out the door because of the noise. He's in the room that you're in.
And then suddenly, but he was in front of me a second ago, and then I'm hearing him behind me. Well, in front of me when I turn and look.
Yep. So you turn and look, and there is a angry. His voice was stern, but you can tell that he is shaking as he holds a phaser up in his right hand, pointed at you, Captain Ukale.
Mm-mm.
All right, it's time for me to be captain, I guess.
What are you gonna do?
How far is he from me?
He's within short range. I forget the names of the ranges.
So he's like maybe 2 feet away.
Oh, no, he's
Like the end of his
6 feet
phaser.
away.
As far as the end of
He's social distance away. He's 6 feet away or so. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to get closer, and so I'm about to spit some Rona right on him. All right.
Too soon.
Gonna step. I'm gonna put my arms out, like my arms to my side, my palms facing forward, and I'm gonna step towards him. Using one of my focuses as composure, so I'm totally using this right now.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him to put the phaser down.
All right. So you're going to use a focus, and I think composure does apply in this situation.
And persuasion. There you go.
Why? So switch your focus use to yes. And what do you want to tell him?
To put the phaser down.
Okay. Now give me a command. It would be command and presence. You think?
Presence or control, one of the two.
Yeah, I think control would be more of like you're trying to keep your calm in this situation, whereas presence is like you're in the room being charismatic, trying to convince him to put down the phaser, and then he's going to do an opposed task in the same way, which he'll do a control.
Because he's holding the phaser. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So presence and command.
Yes, sir.
Plus focus and complication range 1.
Yeah, don't change the complication range.
Word, here we go. Was that one die that just rolled?
I only saw one, but it did pop up.
2.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, 0 and 0, so I guess he's not putting that phaser down.
Well, he might also roll zeros. He has to roll against it. Let's see. Oh, he rolled 2 successes.
Ooh.
He's
All
not
right.
putting.
So he is not putting the phaser down. I think if this were D&D, this would be the point where we would say roll for initiative, but there's no rolling for initiative in Star Trek Adventures.
That's right.
The way it works in Star Trek Adventures is basically unless there is some obvious reason as to why, the player characters would go first, and then it alternates between player character and the enemy player character enemy. It goes back and forth. And as far as who does what when, you can decide amongst yourselves. And if there's any conflict in that decision, then whoever has the highest daring goes first.
Okay. Bo, close your ears. Becca, shoot him. Come on, security.
Yes, sir, correct. Yes, sir, Captain.
I distracted him. How far is Becca from him when this is all going on?
I'm imagining y'all are standing side by side, but I don't know if Becca, if you had any reason to be anywhere else in the room. We didn't discuss that last week. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would just think a security person would be like near the door, just being a security person.
It's coming. He's going to shoot at you. So we're rolling. You guys have you guys are at the top of initiative order. What do you want to do?
Well, if he's gonna shoot at me, I mean, is there really much I can do?
Well,
try to dodge it.
I was gonna let you guys go first. You can.
Try to dodge it.
All right. So you want to like basically like prepare to dodge.
I would assume I've been shot at a lot. So if I would dodge the opposite way of where Thela is, because I would assume that Thela would slide the other way, like we would spread out, so he'd have 2 distant targets. I would think that that's what we would do security-wise.
Of course.
So I'm going to try to jump to, I guess I would say I'll jump to the right, because if she's on my left, then we'll separate that way.
Okay,
and then
so
she's probably going to just try to, guy shooting at the captain, he's going to take him down. I'm going to scream, shoot, as I jump.
Okay, so I'm looking at the combat tasks, and the closest thing to that. All right, so you have 2 options. You can take a minor act. All right, so to drop prone, you would drop to the ground, increasing difficulty of ranged attacks targeting you. Or you can get momentum. But it would increase the difficulty of attacks you or an ally character by 1. So if you guard, basically you'd be guarding behind, if we're inventing some piece of furniture for you to guard behind, it would make it harder for him to shoot you. So you could use your turn doing that. You could drop prone, which means you drop to the ground, or if you want to attack him, you can. It's obvious that he is about to fire at you.
Well, I would, whatever would be the closest to. I don't want to make it harder for Becca to do anything, because the way that we've been rolling has been pretty evident that we need all the help we can get.
Yeah. Pretty bad rolls.
Can I? And I don't want to attack him because I don't think that sounds like something that I don't think he's got the advantage of attacking right now. So I guess jumping to the right or something would be in a fall prone, I guess, because he's kind of. I want to say that he's jumping to kind of distract the guy.
Okay.
So he's not, to keep his eye on him. Training his phaser on him. Becca's going to be right there.
So you're kind of jumping like over to the left of the door,
or to the left or to the right, whichever direction. Becca's not
just away from Becca. Yeah.
Just spread out,
or away from Lieutenant Thela. Yeah.
Please don't shoot me.
Separate.
Okay, that's good. You can do that. That's your minor action. You still have. Do you want to just jump and then chill there, or do you want to jump and try to fire back at him?
Could I jump and then draw my phaser?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll do that while I'm jumping, kind of doing that action pose. Whoa, through the air.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and switch to his turn. We established that he was pointing the phaser at you. So he's going to attempt to fire at you. It's going to be an increased difficulty. So normally, a ranged attack, such as with a phaser, would be a control plus security. With a difficulty of 2, +1 difficulty if there is an enemy within reach, yada yada yada. Basically, he's going to get a +1 difficulty because you dropped prone to try to dodge it. So it'll be a difficulty 3. I am not going to spend any threat, so he's going to try to fire at you. And he needs a 3. Control plus security. Control security. A normal roll. And got 2 successes, so not enough to hit you.
Ooh.
So he fires at you successfully, so it just goes right over your shoulder, misses. Big black spot on the wall where you were standing before you dropped prone. And then now it would be Lieutenant Thela's turn.
Okay.
That phaser's the fun. Blast them.
And
I guess I am gonna try to.
Okay.
Blast them. Yeah.
Let me go over some of the. Let me go over some of the combat stuff. So, every combat round, you get 1 minor action and 1 task. Some examples of some minor actions is you could aim, you could draw item, you could drop prone, you could enter. So, in the event that you're basically going to use your round to just fire at somebody, you could use the minor action to aim, which allows you to re-roll a single d20 made on an attack this turn. So, if you are planning to just stand there and fire, you can basically spend your minor action to do it really well. Otherwise, if you move and then fire, you won't be able to use that.
Could I try to just stun them and not?
Yeah, you're set to stun unless you say otherwise. You're set to stun. If you guys ever switch out of stun, then it gives me threat. But you guys in this situation, you very unlikely would just want to just kill the guy.
Yeah, we just want to calm him down and ask some questions. Damn it, Becca, stop killing everybody. Here comes the murder horse.
You need to blast them. You don't need to blast them.
We're looking for 2 successes.
Okay.
You got this. You got this. You're one of them captains. Come on now, you can do it.
Okay, I got
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you can do it. Oh!
So you got 1 success, but because of your because you aimed, you can re-roll. So why don't you just on your character sheet change it to 1 instead of 2,
Okay.
and then let's just roll 1 dice, and we're looking for 1 more success. And you got
There you
it. That was exactly what you needed.
Nice.
So you successfully hit him. So
There we go. That's why I'm security.
so now on your if you scroll down on your character sheet and you see your weapons, you should see a phaser type 2, and
Okay.
if you click on the little Star Trek little pip there, it'll roll the appropriate amount of dice.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh, I like that.
Holy cow!
Warhammer
So you got 1. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holy crap! Is that real?
Blasted that effort.
I did what you told me to do.
Holy
That's
cow!
right. That's my crew, son. You weren't ready for my crew. Best of the best, Starfleet.
All right, so
Is the captain saying this to the guy?
Yeah, like as he's kicking him a couple times. Get up. Try getting up, sucker.
all right, so
Surprise.
anytime you take 5 stress, that is an injury. So our chief engineer here is going to have to roll on the injury table.
Oh Lord, is that what's going?
How
Oh, it is his
injured?
right arm. So, and then I got to see which. Just as he goes to, he's pointing his phaser at Scott, or I'm sorry, he's pointing his phaser at Captain Ukel, and then because he just got shot by Thela, he turns to point it at her whenever his hand disappears and the phaser drops to the floor, and that'll be his right arm injury.
Welp.
All right, so is this like hand got blasted off, or is this like something supernatural? Like
Supernatural, like his hand
So,
no
like,
longer exists. Yeah,
what does the end of his wrist look like? Like where the hand would have been attached?
it looks like it did whenever you first met him. Where it's as if
we got some
he never
temporal
really had
problem.
the hand. Yeah.
Lord Jesus, kids. Oh, bless the prophets. We are in the middle of this.
All right, and then Lieutenant Soraya and Dr. Narth, you guys are technically in the rotation. I mean, you're just outside the room. You're down some stairs, so I mean, you'd have to run to them. Or if you guys don't want to get involved, that's up to y'all. I'll add y'all to the rotation if you want to jump in. What do you think?
I mean, I would say we would communicate to them and say, Captain, are you all right?
You hear the ruckus, and so you send
Okay.
communication up to Captain Ukel.
And I would immediately. Well, if they come up the steps, they're going to flank this guy. So
I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
How sure are me and Soraya that what we saw is not real?
You guys kept your composure. Had you have failed that task, you would have started going insane, and basically that would entail a higher complication range. So it's more likely that you would fail at tasks.
Okay.
But you guys kept your cool. You don't necessarily know that you were not seeing what you saw, but it didn't frighten you to the point of insanity.
Okay, but my character seeing that happen, if I'm not sure that it's not real, he's probably going to try and get in there to help.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's
true
a
to
good
his
thing.
spirit. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So you guys are going to try to open that door while this small skirmish is going on up the stairs.
I think
Hey,
Love
what
it.
was that?
I was going to say I'd follow the doctor's lead.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Because technically,
Okay. All right. So on the so back in the room with you guys, then we'll continue combat. So he suffered an injury. He's in D&D we'd say he's bleeding out, but he's still standing. And Captain Ukel, what would you like to do?
Well, he's still standing, and his arm is just like, oh crap, it's gone.
Yeah, he's basically shocked. He's shocked at what's just happened. How he's dropped his phaser.
Okay, so how far is the phaser from me then?
It fell straight down. So it's 6 feet in front of you, just in front of him.
So yeah, if I jumped too, then I'm gonna have to jump again to kick it towards.
So you're prone, so you have to take a minor action to stand or whatever maneuver you want to do. You're gonna have to take a minor action just to get out of being prone.
How far is the phaser from Thela?
It's about 6 feet either way.
Can I draw my? Well, I'm assuming my phaser's out. I just have to take aim with it. Is that my minor action?
Yeah, that's correct. You drew your phaser.
Okay, I want to attempt to shoot the phaser away from him and over in her direction.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So that would be just as if you're trying to shoot him. If you want to do a control plus security difficulty 2.
Control, which is good. I have that. Security, it's not as good. But it's not as good as my command. And then roll.
Still only showing 1 dice for you.
Oh, 2 and a 1. So.
Yeah, I see that too.
It shows 1 dice, but it seems to roll correctly. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So yeah, you got an extra momentum for that. Would you like to spend the momentum now or hold it? You guys are at 3, so you can.
I think visually, me shooting the phaser on the ground, like across the room, is super cool, like Kirk level Star Trek.
Yeah.
So I don't think I want to like. Didn't you, bitch?
So we'll go back to the Chief Engineer Hubbard, and at this point he reaches down to pick up the phaser just before you shoot it, and it shoots away from him. But then he turns and pulls his wrist up to his face and is looking puzzled that, what was a hand is not there anymore. And he looks at it for just long enough that if you guys wanted to interact with him, I'll give you the RP opportunity to. Otherwise,
I would love to.
It's not the Orville.
All right, so we shot the phaser out. We're both standing there. It was like, and he's like, looking at his wrist.
Yeah, he's confused. He's confused, and he doesn't have a weapon, so he's not going to try to shoot you or anything like that.
I'm going to go. Now, would you like to talk?
The doctor. He's just like speaking like what are the transporter, the communications array. He's just kind of speaking and he raises a left hand to the top of his head and kind of wipes the sweat away, and he's just kind of just delirious and just speaking in incoherent sentences. He's just and kind of doing the sort of darty glances around the room like he's terrified and trying to decide where he is right now.
Are Narth and Soraya in the room now? Would we hear this?
You're not in the room. You're just outside, so you can be if you want to. You're definitely within hearing range. Like you can hear the commotion, the phasers, and the commotions going on upstairs.
Hey, when you gotta come in behind him and pinch him down, dude. You gotta knock him his ass out the neck. Oh my god, that would be so cool. Oh.
I mean, as disoriented as this man seems to be, that shouldn't be much of a problem. The concerning thing I was having is this is the reason I would ask if my character heard this is the second time we've heard someone mention the doctor in weird circumstances. That was in the initial transmission is someone saying, doctor, no.
I think that I don't think normally you would be able to hear,
Right.
Vulcans have excellent
but
hearing.
you are a Vulcan. Let's do a roll for it. Let's do a roll for it and see if you heard that. This is probably unusual. This is probably not in the rule book, but what would you say? Insight and secure.
I was going to say command.
Yeah, I was gonna say either. I was torn between those two. Let's do command.
Right.
Insight command. Yeah. All right. I think that's.
Texas.
I think that's really good roll. So let's. Yeah, definitely. That catches your ear. You know, you guys were down there and you decided that you felt like the captain had things under control, and while keeping a eye on things upstairs, listening in, trying to make sure things don't sound like they're going south. You picked up in the mutters that he mentioned the doctor.
Captain, speaking to Captain Ukel on this one, considering that this is the second time we've heard such a mention, maybe it's time we paid a visit to the researcher that I believe you're originally going to. I don't believe I was party to that you were going to go talk to
Lieutenant.
sir.
Lieutenant again, though. Okay. My thoughts exactly, Lieutenant, but I think we should probably stick together while we do this. I'm going to hit my comm badge to call for Engineer and poor Callahan to tell them what's going on. Poor Mr. Callahan.
Yeah,
so Amelia, can I hit my comm badge to tell them?
Yeah, definitely. There's no jamming or anything to communications on the station, so it goes through. Yeah.
So I'll hit that and I'll say, Amelia, are you close?
I can be.
Go ahead and do that. We seem to be getting shot at and having reappearing and mystically disappearing hands doing exactly what you would think they would do. So you get Ensign Callahan back up here as quick as you can. We're off to see the wizard.
Got it, Cap. I let Callahan know, and
yeah, he probably
told Levy. It's like, Levy, I need to go get together with my commander. I'll be right back.
All right. So, Lieutenant Commander Amelia and Callahan, you turn your back on Ensign Levy for just a moment to receive that message, and whenever you turn back around, there is a Vulcan with blue hair standing at attention, and she says, "What seems to be the matter?"
I am not sure at the moment. I received that I needed to regroup with my captain. So if you don't mind us, we'll be right back, and then we'll fix any other thing that you guys are having trouble with.
Absolutely. I hope there's nothing. I hope there's nothing wrong with the captain. And then she hits her comm badge, and she says, "Chief Hubbard, is everything okay? Is everything okay where you are?" And then after a moment of silence, with no response, she says, "Stam comm badge down again." Or sorry, a Vulcan probably wouldn't curse, but the Vulcan, it appears
practically a curse for a Vulcan.
I will take a look and see what I can do with the communications issue. You should definitely help your captain.
Appreciate it. If you are not able to find out what's going on, let us know when we come back.
Yes, ma'am.
I hurry and send Callahan to just bolt out of there, but not necessarily look too suspicious.
Not where there's a cloud of smoke shaped like them, and
yeah,
a whole door shaped like them as well.
So you guys would pass through that common area you were there before. The Mildred is now missing. She's not sitting at a table any longer. The mother and the Vulcan mother and child is still there, and the kid's eating now. He seems to have calmed down. But once you get to that door, it does appear to be like jammed and it's not opening whenever you approach it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
essentially, the four of you, Dr. Narth, Lieutenant Soraya, Lieutenant Commander Amelia, and Ensign Callahan, are on opposite sides of the broken door from each other.
Oh no.
Man, this station is crap, dude. Lord. Get with the times.
It's just conveniently obstructing us.
You want to tap some Morse code between to each other or something? Or
Well, they got comm badges.
tap their door?
Do we know we're on opposite sides?
You could if there's no reason you can't communicate with each other. Yeah.
There's not necessarily a discreet way to comm badge anyone without anyone else hearing.
That's true.
So while I'm trying to figure out what the door is, I would say Callahan, with his security, tries to see if he can Morse code over there to see if you guys are literally behind this door.
Okay, so you want to try to send a message to the other side of the door just using Morse code?
Yeah, if Scott can roll for Callahan.
Yeah, I have his character sheet up. So,
Lieutenant Commander Amelia, if you wanted to assist in this, you could roll an additional dice.
Okay.
3 dice I can just roll. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 14 and 11. So what the hell?
What did he need?
He needed 13, so he got 1 success.
He got 1 success. All right. So he succeeded. Yeah.
Okay, then I don't need it. I don't need to assist him.
You might as well do it though, because you could use it as momentum.
Yeah.
So control and security as well.
Yeah.
And just 1 die, right?
Just 1 die. Oh wow.
Okay, sorry. It's the first one, not the second one. It was lagging.
Oh, I see what happened. So you guys, you're maxed out now on momentum.
We're coming at you. Coming at you.
So, and you guys rolled really well. So you can send a brief, like if you were to send like a 1, 2, or 3 word message, just something really quick to the other side of the door. What would that be? You're going to succeed. What do you want to tell them?
What do you think we should tell him? I would probably looking because it's Callahan. So, orders, Lieutenant. I could send them. I could send him a message through here that I'm sure that
I just shush him. I was like, shh.
He's a little nervous. Yeah.
I whisper, trap locked.
All right. So the
noise it makes.
So Lieutenant Soraya and Dr. Narth receive your coded message. And what do you guys want to do from the other side of the door?
Well, that doesn't make me feel any better about the situation.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a way we could figure out if this fits standard Federation designs. We can get that door forcibly opened.
Mm-hmm.
Because this would be a normal internal thing. It's not like a bulkhead or something.
That's correct. Yeah.
Like it's inside.
So, Soraya would attempt to pry open any type of service hatch anywhere near and start working on physically just knocking that thing open.
Yeah, there is a service hatch, and it has the mechanical release, similar to the one you guys did in the last session.
Yeah, because there'd be emergency for the sake of power loss.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you want to use the emergency mechanism, it's a control plus engineering task at a difficulty 2.
Anybody have a problem with me putting some momentum in this?
No, we just start with it. We're cool with that. We just start a bunch of it, right?
Yeah, I was about to say I could burn 3 and get 2 extra dice to make sure we get this thing open.
Oh wow! Oh no, he doesn't need your help, Lieutenant Commander.
Got it.
he's
I'm just
good.
fidgeting with my stuff then.
All right, so we've
It's-
I think it's those, huh?
Wow, it's a good thing you spent that too, because it was the fourth dice that gave you the second success. Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are able to push open the door. You're able to do it just barely. No, you didn't get any physical complications the way Callahan did whenever he tried to do it. Yeah, on the other side is a Lieutenant Commander Amelia and Ensign Callahan. What are you guys doing on the other side of the door? Amelia and Callahan?
I just nod and just push through, and then I just like look at Callahan. It's like protect my 6, and then
I'm
for him
shouting
to also
confused.
go in.
Got your 6. Yeah.
So it seems like they're
But
kind
not
of
upset.
seems like they're kind of on high alert. Then it sounds like.
I mean, it's some pretty crazy crap going on all of a sudden, too. We're just supposed to be reconvening, and suddenly stuff is slamming in our faces. Yeah. Doesn't want us to reconvene.
All right, so back in the room with Captain Ukel, Lieutenant Commander Thela, and the chief engineer. The chief engineer now is basically sitting in a chair with, his head is just, he's still just in confusion. Like he just can't put together where he is. Like he's in some sort of shock. And it's appearing like maybe there's moments, like there's like really quick glances where he seems like, just looking in his eyes, or maybe moments where he kind of comes to and knows where he is, but then, almost immediately loses it again. So he's still just kind of bouncing around in shock.
By this time, are we like in that office with Ukel and
There's
Thela?
there's no time limit or anything keeping you from being there. That's just whatever you guys think you should do.
Okay, I am just gonna pass my pad with my findings to Soraya, so that she can see what's going on, and I would say we would just regroup.
Yeah, we'll be all together.
Okay, if they're entering the room, I'm gonna. He's still there.
Yeah, he's
Chair's
just
still there.
sitting in confusion. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, for Callahan to get a hold of him. Essentially, I can't tie him up per se, but he'll be near him to subdue him if he's got to.
Would it be possible for our medical officer to sedate them? Is that a situation we think about?
Well, I
yeah,
would think the
definitely.
doctor would also want to. Can I say? I think the doctor would probably go after to look at the guy's injury, regardless.
Yeah.
Especially an amputation, he'd probably be like, "Oh God."
I'd probably be scanning all y'all too at this point, just to make sure everything's good.
Can Russell do a kind of like insight medical to see?
Mhm.
Maybe he can just check the wound out to see how old it is, or would he find out when he scanned it that it was like a recent wound or a wound that was like years old, or?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
thinking there's some-
definitely. You want to scan his missing limb.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that would be insight medicine. The difficulty 1. I don't think this would be a.
All right.
So
That's a-
you scan the limb, and it looks like it is a surgical. It's a surgical amputation, possibly due to some prior injury, and your scans can also tell based on the reforming of the bones and things within his wrist that it is it's a little more than a few years old. It's not. It's been with him for at least 5 years.
All right. I'll guess I'll relay this information to the captain.
Doesn't seem like it's been that long since you shot him. He's look over at Theo and say that. It sure doesn't look like it's been that long since you shot him. What do we got going on here, guys? Any ideas? Science?
Yeah, while this is going on, I'd be comparing Amelia's data to my own and see if there's been any flux. Because it seems to be that we had some type of period where, at once throughout the ship, things spiked. And see if there's any data I can grab on that from what we've scanned so far.
Yes, I really like this. Give me just one moment. All right, so you want to scan to see if there was any sort of, spike in activity during that moment where all the shit was going down, right?
Right, related to the part of the unknown particle.
Yes. So I think that would be a reason plus science. It is going to be a difficulty 3. If anybody wants to assist in some way, just try to think of how your character might be able to assist, and we'll see if we can.
It was the most sciencey after.
I mean, because that target number is going to be a 16 for me. So if I have to get a 3, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable with a couple more dice. I was going to use 1 momentum to get 3 die, and I just need to roll above a 16.
Yeah, the reason why I think you could assist using reason and engineering, and it would basically be you using your engineering skills to recalibrate his without having to jury rig it. You can do that without having to spend your jury rig. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you want to spend a momentum to roll 3 dice, right, Halen?
I am gonna roll, and let's go ahead and see how that goes.
Yep, let's see that. Oh, you didn't even need any help.
You don't need my help.
That's good.
But go ahead and roll, because you can build up some momentum again.
Yeah, replace that one momentum I've been using.
So just roll us 1 d20, and it should be a reason engineering d20.
One.
Thank you.
1 success. Man,
We
you must
did
have. Well, you're an engineer, so that makes sense.
What a fine crew I have.
All right, so you won your momentum back.
What do we discover gain, Master?
So you discovered that you'll have to forgive me. What were you looking for again? Oh yeah, you were looking to see if there was a spike, if there was some sort of spike in the exotic particle anomaly that you've been tracking during the time of this,
Right.
And there definitely was. You discovered that not only was there a spike, but you saw a few different, say, pinpoints where there was spikes on the station. Not just one, but there's a few sort of spread out through the station that may end up being the source or the attraction of this exotic particle.
Captain, I have an idea on this one. Considering this is something we may be able to track, I'd like to go ahead and wire our communication systems together so that our communicators beep anytime we see a spike here, to hopefully give us a little bit more concept of whatever we're about to see may or not be reality.
Excellent idea. I don't want to say make it so, guys. I don't do it. I don't.
I think Amelia,
Make
that
it
seems
so.
like something Amelia and I might be able to put, just to have the tricorder continuously
Do it so.
tracking and see if any time we would get near a spike, our communicators would beep.
Also, see if you can link it through our comm badges so we can all be.
That would be the plan, sir.
Yes.
I wouldn't really imagine that this would be something that would be very hard, because it's basically just setting the tricorder to send a message to the communicators if it sees an active spike in a certain element.
Yeah, beeping or something. Kind of.
Yeah, just be like, beep 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 beep. So just to give us, considering we may not be able to trust our eyes, just to give us a secondary hold on reality.
So you're wanting to make you're basically wanting to make a Geiger counter. I really like this. It's getting all Silent Hill type.
I wasn't going to
that's very
bring that up, but yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Just because I love the idea so much, you don't have to spend that talent unless you just want to. it is going to be hard to. I think it does require some reason task in order to make this adaptation. Let's do a reason plus engineering. And if you want to make it one task for the entire group, let's do a reason plus engineering with a difficulty of 2. I want this to happen. I'm not gonna lie. I want this to happen.
Okay, and who rolls for this?
I've only got a 13 target on that one, Amelia. So
I have
if you would like
15.
so you might want to take the lead, and I'll assist.
Okay, is it okay to spend momentum?
How many we got?
You got 2 right now.
How far close to the end of the scene? We're gonna lose one at the scene.
I haven't been tracking scenes. It's fine. It's fine.
I think it would be worth it.
It sounds like it feels like we just started the scene, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would think. Do you think it would be worth it to just burn it and use it, Halen?
Yeah, I think we don't use them enough. Yes.
Yeah, I think we do farm up too much.
You could only use 1 anyway because it cost you 3 to buy the second dice, and you only have 2, so you can only use 1.
But it would give us 2 separate. Like I was saying, given the way the numbers work out later down the road, we get an extra dice with 1. So.
And if either of you have cautious engineering, then you could re-roll one of them because you spent a momentum. You're allowed to re-roll 1 dice, so you're gonna succeed.
I have it. Ooh.
1.
Ooh.
Yeah, you did.
Oh man! So you rolled 3 successes.
Let me roll my 1 to see if we get a momentum.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, that'll be nice. Get back what we spent.
We do
Nope.
not.
Good job. What? If the game ends and we didn't use it, I mean, it's wasted.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're exactly
Yeah.
right. I have to learn the same thing about threat. I don't spend threat enough, which is causing you guys not to have to spend momentum enough. So I've got to start spending that threat and sending the Borg at you or something. I don't know. I'm gonna spend 1 threat. A Borg cube appears just outside the station. All right, so you guys have your Geiger counters. I love this idea. This is great.
I just as how it plays out, I would hope that it would give it the idea on that was maybe it'd give us a little bit of extra bonus if we do fail or something, or maybe
Yeah.
that was just the hope.
Okay, and so we are doing a so you guys have found the different locations of the and you know you're able to search for them using your tricorder. The chief engineer of the station is still like in disarray. Dr. Narth is making sure he's healthy. And what do you guys want to do?
Compare notes to where I was last, because I've been the one exploring more, to see if those parts of the map, essentially station, is where those spikes were at.
Okay. So you're able to see that there's a spike in sort of the common area of the station. There's a spike in engineering of the station, and there's a spike in the medical bay of the station.
Okay. I let everyone present know about my findings about Mildred.
So do you basically just want to relay to everybody what happened to you in the last session? Okay. Yeah. So you all know what happened in the last section. Is there anything about that you want to investigate?
Gotta find that cat. No, I'm joking.
I'm of the mind that we go into the medical lab and research them.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Captain, what are your thoughts?
Every cat makes it out alive. Where's that cat?
Okay, I was
Probably in the medical bay.
No, I think going to finding this doctor should be our number 1 priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, this finding the figurative man behind the curtain here.
Medical bay seems like the best place to check first.
Find a doctor would be a medical bay. If he's a doctor, if he's not a physicist doctor, if he's a medical doctor.
Yeah.
So depending on that, if it's a lab or sick bay.
I don't like that, Bo.
Yeah, so I was wondering if you guys could see that. I've got the extended task out here. Earlier, whenever you rolled, the reason why I made it a difficulty 3 is because I was secretly doing your first roll on this extended task, and you did succeed. So you get to roll the progress dice, which Halen and Scott, we've been through this before, but just to fill everybody else in, an extended task is basically like you guys are set out on this mission now. You're trying to find this medical lab. You're trying to find the different key points on the station of the spikes in this exotic particle. And in order to do that, it's going to take a few different task rolls, basically. And so that first one you guys did was at a difficulty 3. It succeeded. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll a number of dice that is going to extend this progress. And at a certain point, you'll get to a breakthrough. And then the breakthrough will reduce the difficulty down to 2 and then to 1. And eventually you'll complete the extended task. So if you open your character sheet... Oh, did you do it?
Pop.
Oh, it says rolling 0 dice.
Oh, Allie.
So in that little text box there, just type 5 or 7. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
All right.
There's a lot of...
So we got 2. We got 2 points go towards the work track.
All right. So we're down to 13.
Yeah, I needed to click out of the box for it to actually do anything.
Oh yeah, because whatever you type there is not selected yet until you click out or something.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you guys are on your way to finding these exotic particles.
Beep.
Yeah, and right now your Geiger counters are beeping like just very like in distant frequencies.
Beep.
So do we continue our way on to the medical lab, or do we need to remain in space for Amelia for her track, or do we carry that with us? Or
Beep.
No, you guys can work towards. This is probably an unusual setting for this, but you guys can work towards the track, the extended task, even if you're separated from each other. It's fine. I don't really know what the exact ruling on that is in the book, but in order for this module to work, if you guys split up, you can still work towards the same task. That's fine with me.
Rule 0, you make the rules.
That's right. Yeah.
Beep.
I got the cool little wrist flashlight on again, the Voyager wrist flashlight.
So, do you guys want to do anything with Chief Hubbard, or what do y'all want to do about that situation?
Well, I'm assuming that security's probably got his good hand behind his back, walking him like that, with the good hand behind the back type thing.
Oh, so he's going to go with you guys.
Yeah, he's our
Okay.
Captain, could I recommend that we attempt to maybe possibly beam him over into containment on the piers?
Send him back.
Well, onto the piers.
How far are we from the... Well, we could do that from the station, right? We don't have to go into our shuttlecraft to beam him over with our...
We would just have to...
I wouldn't recommend that.
Because the station is so wonky. I don't know if it's a good idea to...
Yeah, we might be teleporting some particles into the ship, and that will cause complications there that we won't know until we get there.
Yeah, we could... Well, we could beam him into a quarantined area.
The particles are too erratic to the point where he might be there and he might be gone. I've seen that happen with the old lady not being there when she was there not so long ago.
Yeah, so we can contaminate the ship, essentially. So we're looking at some kind of a scientific and spiritual and scientific thing. Oh, man, who knows?
I would just say if we're able to keep him close with Callahan, holding his hands,
We'll have 'em.
essentially, or
All right, so are we making our way to the where we think is the lab now?
Yeah, we'll take our hypothesis and head that way.
Yeah, so if you guys are wanting to all go together and you're carrying the Chief Hubbard with you, then definitely there's nothing stopping you. So is that our decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
All right, so on the path, you would pass through the common area. Whenever you enter the common area, you know the everything I described in the previous session is revealed. It has several tables. There's lightly populated. It's not a ton of people there. The only people of note is the Vulcan mother with her child, and at the replicator, we see the now Vulcan Ensign Levy is making herself some sort of rappuccino, and turns around and sees you guys, and she says, "Oh, is there something wrong with Chief Hubbard?"
I would see if I can quietly speak to the captain. I was like, "Sir, we could always say that it seems that he may be suffering under some type of medical concern, and we're trying to take him to the medical bay."
He feels sick. Well, we're
Oh, well, he should go see Dr. Tom then. I'll take him. There immediately.
We'll take him. You lead the way.
Absolutely, right this way. And then she goes out the into a hallway, and you guys follow her. She takes you through various corridors and passages on the station. As you get closer to the medical bay, your counters on your body are now beeping more and more rapidly as you get closer. Once it gets to like a certain pace, Ensign Levy stops. She turns and she looks at you all with flashing red lights on your chest or your belts or wherever you have them, and she says, "What is the purpose of these devices, if you don't mind my asking?"
There is a malfunction with our comm badges currently. I've been playing with them, and this is the default that I'm able to get to it. And I've just been trying to figure out what's going on with the station that I just left this, as in a small annoyance to us.
Roll me a daring plus command.
Thank God.
All
right, so that puts you over the top. So she
in the Vulcan intimidation eye into that.
Do you lift the eyebrow in the background? I don't have to do anything. I'm just gonna stand back and let you guys handle this.
So
Seem to be doing it perfectly fine on your own.
So she was suspicious for a moment, but everything else in this damn ship's broke, so she decides it makes sense. And she says, it's logical. And then she turns around and keeps carrying you to the medical bay. It's from everything you've seen on the ship so far, this is by far the nicest room on the station. It's not pristine. Now, it's not pristine, but it does seem like Chief Hubbard maybe hasn't been bumping around here messing things up quite as much as the rest of the station. It looks like it's much more orderly, and there is a medical staff, namely the most key personnel is they just call him Dr. Tom, and so immediately whenever Levy enters the room, she alerts Dr. Tom that the chief is not feeling well. We think you may need to take a look at him. And yeah, so he approaches you all and is surprised to see a full crew carrying Chief Hubbard into the med bay. Do you guys have any questions or alerts for Dr. Tom?
While the group is essentially going into with the doctor, can I just like casually like start looking around, but I'm actually scanning to see what's up?
Yeah, I think that Soraya and Amelia would both be, kind of scanning the validity of the room and what's going on.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any way I could kind of communicate to them, like, we could nod at the two of them and they'll probably understand that.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Amelia, if we want to work on our cover story, we could always say that there have been so many issues, and since we're a repair crew from Starfleet, we're just scanning, trying to figure out where all the stations, the breakdown is coming from. Whatever anyone asks us, what we're scanning for.
Yeah.
So if you're scanning for that'll work towards your extended task. It'll be a difficulty 3. I would suggest that to scan for the particles would be a reason plus science. And if you were trying to do a structural integrity scan, that would be a reason or insight plus engineering. But I don't know that would work towards the task specifically.
Could I work towards the task?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to scan for the particles and then maybe have Amelia assist you with a reason plus engineering.
Okay. So you said insight and engineering for the particles?
You would assist with 1 dice with the insight and engineering, and Soraya will do a reason plus science 2 dice, or unless you want to buy an additional dice, or however many dice you want to buy.
I think I'm going to do just the 2 now.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going to at least get 1 success on the challenge die.
You guys are looking for a 3 to succeed at this.
Actually, 3 to get to the challenge track. I guess we do have to spend. I got to spend 1.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, so you'll roll 3 dice, and Amelia roll 1 dice.
3 successes.
Ooh, good. Amelia's going to give you back that momentum. You guys haven't gotten any complications today.
Yay!
All right, so you got your momentum back.
On that phone?
What was that?
How many challenge dice do I get on that?
It will be your science discipline, whatever that is, plus 2.
All right, so 7. It's going to be 7 plus 1.
Plus 1, yep. Because of you have a talent that gives you plus 1. Yeah.
Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6.
Oh, I see what you did. Yeah. Okay, so 6. So that's pretty good.
Challenge dice is always like at least rolled 1 shield. Or 1 delta.
And you guys got more than 5, so that actually gives you a breakthrough. Your difficulties will drop down to 2. The breakthrough that you got is that there seems to be a location on the base that does not fit within the space that it's occupying. So you're reading scans of these particles, and one of the locations that the particles are condensed in, it's not this one, but one of the locations does not seem to fit within the space of the vessel itself.
Right, so we have a tesseract.
Yeah.
Well,
so
you relay that to the captain.
So at this point, Tom has taken the chief Hubbard and has him on a. As long as you're willing to, are you willing to give up Chief Hubbard to Tom? As long as there's not a conflict there. The doctor would take him and start scanning him to try to see, what's wrong with him. He's obviously in some sort of mental distress, and he looks over at you puzzled and says, "What What's happened to this man? What's happened?
She shot him, and everybody points at her. Let's not do that. We're not about throwing people into the shuttlecraft. We can't do that.
Thanks, Captain.
She did it.
Maybe
You told me to.
I don't remember that.
Hey, I was trying to save your life. That's my job, right?
Keeping me alive while I smart off to people who have guns pointed at my face.
maybe some kind of we can say that it was some kind of conversation, then he just started being delirious or something.
Yeah.
I think that it would probably benefit us most for the doctor to give some kind of a
Analysis.
Yeah, some trying to also to mix in a little bit of subterfuge, I guess, to get the guy on our side while doctoring, like doctorly freezing.
You can give some medical technobabble as to what happened to him. So, are you guys going to lie about what happened, or what's your that's your plan?
I think that he should get scanned first, and then we can kind of debrief what we observed.
So maybe the doctor, Dr. Narth, and the Dr. Tom here can assist each other in scanning him to try to determine what's happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain is gonna be with the doctors because he's also has some medical training as well, and also being there.
I should have wait too.
He was original
scenario.
To be a doctor.
I've scanned, I tell him all the scans I've run, and he seems to be all right in all these different ways, but he's not all right mentally.
Yeah.
Physically, he's all right.
A little crazed.
So, if you want to do the scan on him, the doctor, let me pull up an NPC sheet. So the doctor could attempt to do like a cognitive scan to try to figure out, is there any sort of strange patterns within his DNA makeup right now? Is there something out of whack? So the doctor would do a reason plus medicine, and if the doctor is the main one scanning, Dr. Narth, if you wanted to assist him, you could. Otherwise, you guys can just let the doctor scan him and peace out. That's up to y'all. Whatever you want to do. You can just say, all right, we're dropping this guy off here. We got other places to be. You do whatever you want to do.
Well, I want to make sure that we're making or we're keeping an eye on it. That's not just him going, yeah, he's fine, just waving a tricorder next to his head and saying, hey, he's totally cool. I want to make sure it's legit what we're getting out of this.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you want somebody to kind of watch and make sure that the doctor's not doing anything sketchy?
Yeah, he's not just playing along just to shut us up or to
he's playing Snake on his tricorder over here while telling you that he's doing.
Yeah, he's over there. Zhang or whatever.
Go ahead.
Can me and Soraya pinpoint the location of that anomaly?
Yeah, you guys actually know we already know that from our previous scan that you guys did back in the shuttle bay. 3 points on the stations. You guys have already ruled out one of them, and there's still 2 more. But yeah, where they are. It's just this recent breakthrough. You've discovered that this one of the locations you've found to be a conundrum, it can't fit within the station, and so that was the breakthrough that you found. But yeah, the locations.
Okay. I discuss with Soraya to see if it's logical to go to engineering next.
Is that the spot that we've seen relative to the folded space?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is engineering is the one that seems to be folded. Yeah,
I'd say that would be our next target to hit.
All right.
Cool.
And so what's going on with the doctor? You guys gonna let Dr. Tom deal with the chief, or are y'all gonna work with Dr. Tom? What's the plan here? I was gonna roll for him if y'all were gonna assist him.
Yeah, I'll assist him.
All right. Let's roll. So here is Dr. Tom, and then if you want to roll 1d20, reason plus medicine.
All right.
Man, Dr. Tom sucks. You see that? He had 2 failures.
You know what? We're just gonna take this guy. He's in better hands with us. Just gonna, Dr. North walks behind Dr. Tom and just hypo sprays him in the neck.
Yeah. So
Like, as I'm assisting, I'm just like, "Where'd you get your medical degree?" You know?
So Dr. Tom,
He's got a Klingon medical degree by the sounds of this. It's like, just let him die. It's honor. Whatever.
I'll say that. So you got a success, Dr. Narth. I want to reward you in some way for that, even though you guys didn't succeed in scanning him. You were able to see that the exotic particles appear to be within the elements inside of Chief. Like the particles are bombarding his body internally as well as the station.
Oh, okay.
But-
I wonder if this engineer here, this crazy, is like the key to a door.
Oh wow, I love that concept.
He's got if he's got these wacky particles, and then this room has also got wacky particles. They either came from the same anomaly at once and separated, or their time is being weird too.
Yeah.
So maybe he's the beginning of this. Just thinking of Star Trek manner. I don't know if it's close or we just wrote another module. I don't know.
Do you guys want to spend a momentum to find out more information about Dr. Narth's scan? To get a little more details?
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll spend the momentum. You guys are at 4. And so Dr. Narth, while he's scanning, he also scans Dr. Tom and discovers that he also has the particles within him also.
All right, everything's
Okay.
percolating everywhere.
Can I scan myself or maybe the captain?
Yeah, definitely.
I probably have got a pretty good idea what the doctor's doing here, because Mel and Zoe. Yeah, but I'm sure if I'm further away, I'd step closer to him, make it easier to scan.
Okay. So give me
Easy.
reason plus medicine. This is gonna be a difficulty 1. Reason plus medicine task.
All right, that's 2 dice.
By default, it would be 2 dice unless you want to add more, but
Okay.
you're only looking for 1.
It's the same as the last roll, and
Alright,
the same result.
Yep, exactly what you needed. So scanning Captain Ukel, you do not detect any of the particles within Captain
Okay.
Ukel.
All right, so it's still not us. We haven't been infected by the
Okay.
dreaded
That's good.
virus yet.
I guess I would have some kind of way of like communicating this, that there, something's going on without outright saying it to the captain.
Yeah.
Maybe you move your antenna in specific ways.
I forgot you were
yeah.
Andorian. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would signal, I think he means that these guys are weird and we're okay, using his
Yeah.
tentacle. Antenna move.
You tap your forehead in Morse code with your antenna.
I mean, I wasn't thinking anything specific.
No, this fine. So you can relay the information. The doctor is like preoccupied now with working on.
Yeah, so I'm sure we can step
chief.
back and he can just go. So that kind of thing, and
Yeah.
good. Okay, makes sense. I mean, I'm sure. Logically speaking, I'm sure Levy's part of this too. She's also, just because she acts better and she's got a Starfleet uniform on, doesn't not part of this weird.
Oh, is Levy with you guys? She went with you guys. She's assisting.
Oh, she is with us. She led us there. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So she's assisting Dr. Tom. She's preoccupied with the chief chief engineer of the station.
Scan on her too to see, or should?
I mean, I'm sure if you did scan her, she would have the same particles.
Same situation.
Yeah.
Is that they all have this weird,
Yeah.
density problem. Everybody's too dense or not dense
Space
enough.
STD. Yeah.
So passed it all around.
All right. So what would you guys like to do? Do you want to investigate this room some more? Do you want to go investigate one of the other ones? What do you think?
Doesn't look like there's more to tell us. Yeah. So, I would suggest to have Levy go with the engineer, or are we all going to go together? I think it's a good idea to stick together. Split up. We can cover more ground.
Yeah, I mean, do we feel like we need to stick together? Is the real question.
Well, in the case where this is all wonky and weird, I don't think that like beaming us all off would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I feel like this is really going to wind up with us running towards the shuttlecraft to get on it in time. I'm also not incredibly comfortable with doing.
Yeah.
It's not super comfortable with that. So I think maybe taking the whole crew back down to engineering to check that out. It seems to be that's the blinking path right now. Everybody is engineering is where we need to be headed.
All right, so you guys can make your way to engineering. You know where it's at. You don't necessarily need an escort. Let's see. And you guys are able to make it all the way to engineering. On your path there, your meter is beeping more and more rapidly as you approach it, and you don't interact with or have any interference along the way. Just as you round the corner when you are expecting to approach what should be engineering, there's actually just a dead end. It's just a big wall. It's as if this corridor went to nowhere.
Alright, here we go.
Can we scan it?
Absolutely.
Throw something at it, see if it goes through.
Wait
a second. Computer
How do you want to? I listen to a lot of Star Trek Adventures playthroughs while I'm at work, and almost every one of them, some player goes, "Computer, in program." One day it's gonna work. I'm gonna. You guys try that every game because one day it's gonna work. Yeah. What do you want to scan it for specifically? What kind of scan are we doing?
Just to see, like, if the wall is real.
I like that. It's good. So do you want to do like an engineering scan, kind of a structural integrity kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be reason plus engineering. And this should go towards your work, your extended tasks too, because you're kind of investigating the path to these particles you thought you were on the trail of. So it would be a difficulty 2 because you guys have a breakthrough, so it's no longer 3.
Yeah. Is this end of scene or still the same scene?
This is the same scene.
Can I use a momentum?
Yes, definitely. All right. Holy cow! How many dice did you roll?
It did the first one because I had the first one as 2, but I actually meant to send the second one, and I guess it didn't register until the end. So
the second one is correct, right?
Correct.
So you got 3 successes. So you got an extra success. Now we need to roll the challenge dice to add to the work track. So this would be your whatever your engineering discipline is plus 2, which I think was 5. So you'll be rolling 7. Dang, that looks like a lot of stuff. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That should.
We cleared it.
Yes. on the wall. So what you discover is that the wall is a real wall. It is actually structurally there. And in inspecting the wall, there's scribbled in maybe a child's handwriting. Some of the letters are backwards. You see, walls have ears, doors have eyes, trees have voices, beasts tell lies. Beware the rain, beware the snow, beware the man you think you know.
All right, who do we think we know?
The chief engineer? Maybe.
Bo, are we still able to message back to the Pierce? Do we still have communications?
You can certainly try.
I thought we had an open communication.
We haven't tested it in a while.
True.
All right, so you want to try to communicate to them?
I would like to try to raise the Pierce.
All right, and you just want to talk to the commanding officer at the bridge?
I would actually like to speak to whoever is on watch and engineering right now.
That would be Lee Russell, yeah.
Our favorite character. I'm gonna open it up.
All right.
So,
am I able to communicate with them?
Yeah, he answers the comm.
Right. I would like to send the data that we have over on this particle so far, and I'd like to actually try to run the information past the deflector to see if we have anything that might be able to, any type of radiation or energy that might be able to affect the concentration of these particles.
Is there anything I could do to help?
Yeah, so you can communicate. You send it over to Ensign Russell. That would be an extended task. That's going to take him a little while to go through, but
I'll go ahead and send it now and see, because the possibility basically the idea of a backup plan here is if we can't figure out whatever this mystery is that we force space to unfold itself by reducing the concentration of these particles.
I love that idea. Yeah.
Well, to put anybody on it, it would definitely be Crewman Lee Russell. Put him on it.
All right, so you send that over to Crewman Russell. He'll start working on it. I love it. So you send it over to him. That's all good. That's all fine and dandy. Whenever you end communication, Crewman Russell messages you back again, and he says, Captain Ukel?
Yes, Crewman, go ahead.
I just wanted you to know, hell is empty and all the devils are here. Out.
We all automatically worry about the well-being of Crewman Russell more than anyone else. Like, the whole rest of the ship could explode, but if he's okay.
Oh no.
Oh Lord. All right, there's something's going on with the communications here. Obviously, that's something that he would never, prank call the captain, obviously, as well. So there's something that is going on between these two, the ship and the station, that is causing this satanic poetry jam going on here.
All right, so you guys, you've investigated the wall. It's a wall. It's an oddly placed wall, but it is a wall. And let's see. Let me look at who has the highest. What's a stat we haven't used in a while?
Just gonna cycle through them all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cycle through.
That's what we're doing.
Daring.
Yeah, we never used daring. I don't know how to fit daring in there.
Something edgy.
Because I've got a pretty decent daring.
Punch the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever has the highest daring, attempt to walk through the wall. It's a real wall.
Run really fast.
Bong.
Why don't we say whoever has the highest presence? Let's see if we can figure out who that is real quick.
8.
Who's got that? I have a 9.
I'm on 7, so not me.
I have 10.
Ooh,
I've got 8, so not me.
All right, so
Soraya.
Lieutenant Soraya, you're
Callahan.
you're all puzzled. You're trying to figure out where to go next. Your Geiger counters are going crazy, and then out of the corner of your eye, you notice there's something moving behind you all.
I turn to see what it is.
It's another wall.
You guys are locked in this corridor.
They're closing in on us.
There is just about halfway. Honestly, this is I've got us on a great scene right here. So this corridor that we see in this window, it's a curved corridor, and about halfway till the curve gets out of view, you see a black cat slowly just walking down this path.
I would
Oh,
relay what I'm. Am I the only one who sees it? Once I say,
Currently, you're the only person that has turned around.
okay, I would not looking away from the cat. I would vocalize, crewmates. Am I the only one seeing this small furry animal?
I turn around.
And you all see it. You all see the cat slowly walking away from you.
Oh, it's Mildred's cat.
Is it Mildred's cat?
Probably it's the only cat that would be in the space station.
I know. I'm
Oh,
looking for this cat.
Is Data on this station?
I know, it's a spot.
This is about to be my Porthos, guys. I hope you guys know this. I need a Porthos. Black cat's perfect.
I start walking towards it.
As you walk and get closer to it, it doesn't run away from you. It's not fleeing. It's continuing down the path that it was on before. It's paying. You guys are of no consequence to it, basically. But as you get closer to it, as you get closer to it, beep 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 beep.
I stop.
Showing us.
Yes, as you get closer to the cat, the counter gets more and more rapid.
Guys, the cat is hot.
So we get a scan.
A singed tail.
And so it's walking out of your sight now. If you followed it around this curve just a little bit, it would have taken a right down another corridor.
All right, security, headed up.
I go forward with them, with knowing that they're following.
Like an arrowhead formation that the two security people would be in front and then have the scanning right behind them.
Okay.
Question on this one: do we alert Mildred that someone has found her cat?
That cat is real?
Until I have it physically in my hands, no.
No. It could be a mirage.
All right, so
With it when we may not be able to.
so you guys are following the cat down the corridor. You come around the corner to the right where you saw it go, and sure enough, there it is. It's still walking on a path. There's at the end of the corridor there's a door, and just to the right of the door there's like a service hatch. The hatch is open. The cat continues down the path slowly, casually, not interrupted by your following whatsoever, until it hops inside the service hatch, out of sight. The service hatch is directly beside the door at the end of the corridor. It's it could be assumed that the service hatch goes into that room.
Did Mildred give us the name of the cat?
She actually did not. She couldn't remember it.
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't remember it. Then she couldn't remember if she ever had a cat.
His name's probably Dante. I don't know what you call that out. Dante.
I just started calling out for the cat as I realized that it's going into the little.
She's kind of doing like a. Pss, pss.
Yeah. I'm just like, no, damn, and it's like, kitty.
There's no stopping it. It's on a mission to go into there. It just goes in there.
So, do we open this door or do we follow the cat?
Let me ask you though, if you had gotten the cat, we're going to interrogate the cat. How are we going to do with the?
I know. Who is your owner?
Oh no, I was just going to carry it with me.
Just so you can touch it, just to make sure it's a real cat.
Keep this cat like his cat needs to be on our ship.
Well, it also needs to get scanned because of how essentially it triggered.
Yeah.
We need to see this anomalous as well, or if it's gonna, we scan it and it makes all our tricorders explode because it is the source of all this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's in the service hatch now.
So who's the smallest out of all of us? So it's probably not me, and the Andorian's got
It may be me.
little baby Vulcans, not an Orion woman by any means. It's going to be small, so.
So do you want to? So you guys, are you going to approach the service hatch / door? They're side by side.
Kind of take a look at well, they're side by side for sure. I mean,
So-
we've got to go next.
As you approach the door / service hatch, your Geiger counters continue to increase. It's almost it's almost like the sound barrier thing where it's becoming one long beep as you get closer and closer to it.
Oh god.
We found what we're looking for, everybody.
Yep, the cat. It's the cat.
Anybody want to turn back? Let's see if we can get this door open.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it opening like a regular old door when we get close to it? Or is it going to need some help?
No, whenever you get close to it, it just it opens up. And
We
it's
don't walk like the outtakes.
What you see when it opens is a medical bay identical to the one that you were just in, the medical bay that you dropped off Chief Hubbard at. Only this one is completely empty. There's no Dr. Tom. There's no Ensign Levy. There's no Chief Hubbard. It's completely empty except for a black cat sitting in the middle of the room as if he were waiting on you to open the door.
Who's got the highest daring again?
I have 11.
Daring as heck.
That's higher than mine.
So I'm gonna be daring on this.
Well, honestly, I do
towards the
think
cat.
that we would probably send security in first. The two of them are probably side by side. Figure to strong. They're gonna have to go in first. We get any weirder scans? Because I'm sure the two of them are probably still scanning stuff too.
Whenever the door opened, your Geiger counters are just a constant beep now. It's just
On the
so fast it sounds like one huge long beep.
I think we should shut this noise off, guys. I think we're here. So, or makes our heads explode.
Yeah. I turn everything off.
My battery died. It beeped so much.
Our security officers, as you enter the room, simultaneously, sweeping the area for any sort of security risks or anything. You don't see anything in the room. The cat gets up and starts walking towards the back wall of the medical bay. And are all of you entering the room or just security?
I start going towards it because I realize it's moving away, and I need to know where it's going.
I would think that all of us would it would just be that order we would follow in.
I'm picturing at least security having their phasers out. That's kind of the way I'm picturing this.
Ready.
So the cat continues to walk towards the back wall until what was just a wall slides open, as if there was a door there that you didn't see before, and then like a hazy purple smoke or moisture, some sort of gassy moisture that's in the air, is billowing out of the room. And as the cat walks into this brand new room that didn't exist before, it walks off into the distance until it disappears. And then sorry, I was trying to decide if I wanted to spin some thread. I'm going to save it for a little bit. So the smoke begins to fill the room you're in. It's a quick scan from any of your tricorders would reveal that it's not going to hurt you if you breathe it or anything like that. But the cat has walked in and disappeared. Even from where you stand, you can see that there's flickering lights and there's computer terminals, sparks. There's all sorts of mechanical commotion going on inside the room, but it's dark and you can't see what's in there.
Captain, you got that wrist light?
Yeah, we can see. We should all have a away team gear anyway, so we should all probably have those lights on.
You're fine to have a light. It's fine.
Yeah. Shining them around. Check out and see if we see anything in the direction of that cat or it disappeared into.
So you want to shine into the room to see what you can see from outside of it?
I mean, does anybody want to volunteer to step in first? Because
I am. I'm going in there.
I think that Callahan will probably be quick to be with her.
Okay.
Run in there.
So as you two enter the room, and you have your flashlights so you can see, but there is light sources in the room, mostly from consoles that are flickering on and off. There's the occasional spark from something that's detached up in the left-hand side of the room. And it looks like something has gone horribly wrong. Most of the consoles in here are dead. A few of them are flickering. There's scorch marks on the walls, and there's a corpse slumped up against the far wall. You can just make out its silhouette of a man in a lab coat.
I'll scan for life signs.
Looks like we found our man behind the curtain.
Yeah. This seems to be closer to what the actual distress call suggested.
So if you want to approach the man and scan him for life signs, that would be a reason plus medical task with a difficulty 1.
While the doctor's doing that, I'd like to check the terminals and equipment to see if any of it's still active.
Okay. It's it's listed here as a daring plus engineering is a difficulty of 2, and that's to get the terminals to work in the in this room.
Well, I'll wait for the doctor's roll, and then we'll discuss.
So Dr. Narth
Yeah.
succeeded on his roll, and you detect that the body is showing up as both dead and alive. But the
What?
cause of death, in the case of death, is a puncture wound, and then you continue to scan, and then it says it's loss of blood, and then you go back to where the puncture wound was, and there's no more puncture wound, but it appears that he had a heart attack, maybe an aneurysm or electrocution of some kind. It's almost as if you scan each part of his body, he's died in a new way, but yet he's also still alive. So it is quite the conundrum.
It sounds like we're in some type of causational anomaly where all possible things are happening in various reflections at once.
Schrodinger's station.
Yeah. Hence the cat.
That's great. I just made up the cat. It's not even part of this module.
There you go.
It fits good though.
So, does anyone want to work with me on? I only have a 10 on daring plus engineering.
I can work with you.
Was you want to take the lead?
11 on daring. My engineering though is pretty low though. It's 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's still. I've only got a 10 total, so. That's
Okay.
I'm gonna keep looking for that cat.
All right. So, Thela, would you mind taking the lead on this analysis?
Okay, 2 successes.
I'll try my 1. Yes.
There you
All
go.
right. You guys got a momentum? All right. This is going to take a little while. And I might have to turn the light on. So you guys, you look at one of the terminals. You're able to get it to come on. And then on the screen is a log, a personal log. Only it was never submitted. It was as if it was recorded and then interrupted. But it says, Bertruger's personal log. To anyone that finds this message, I am Dr. Bertruger, except that is not my name. One day I woke up and my old name was gone. Because of what I did, I fear who I was will be gone forever. Approximately 2 weeks ago, I detected a spatial anomaly in this system that I thought might shed some insight into this sector's unusual subspace properties. In studying it, I bombarded the anomaly with exotic particles. I thought it closed. How wrong I was. I started to notice strange happenings on the station. Rumors, tall tales, and idle talk amongst the station's crew were slowly imposing themselves on factual reality. My name became Dr. Bertruger simply because enough people believed that it was. I tried to tell them and get them to believe something was wrong, but I couldn't get through to them. It didn't help my very thoughts, personality, and appearance changed to fit others' perceptions of me based on hearsay. I had no choice but to lock myself in my lab in hopes that I would be able to find a solution. However, this turned out to be the wrong course of action. People began believing I was dead after not seeing me for days. And because they believed it, I did die. To this very moment, I am locked in a Schrodinger-like state between life and death. It is a hell I wish on no one. Do not try and save the people here. Their Starfleet training lets them ignore the weirdness around them. And as a result, things just get worse and worse as time goes on. Disturbing their self-imposed reality could very well rip this sector apart. So please, do not stay here. Destroy this station and make sure no one ever comes here again. Get out before it's too late. And then the log disappears.
So
Alright.
no cat then, and we're leaving.
We believed the cat was there because we heard about the cat. So the cat
Yeah.
heard about
So, in this room, the area to the left that was sparking, it seems to be some sort of machine. It's not anything like you've seen on a research station before. It could very well be part of Dr. Petruger's research and bombarding the anomaly with these exotic particles. But if it is, it's not functioning now.
Assumedly, because it could both shut itself down and not shut itself down at the same time. On this one, Captain, do you think we should leave? I would imagine Starfleet would find this quite interesting.
We're here to answer distress call. That's our primary mission. And it seems that who sent the distress call is no longer with us. Or is with us, or isn't. It was still somebody screaming about the doctor this whole time, so screaming, "No, doctor, no." So we haven't gotten to the bottom of if the doctor was killing anybody, have we? Why they were so afraid of him?
No. I mean, yeah, no.
Would it be just
They're,
All right.
all you know so far is that strange things seem to happen on the ship. The people on the ship seem to believe strange things, and then now you've been given a clue that the people on the ship believe something. It seems to become true because they believe that the doctor was dead. There's rumors about him dying in different ways, and so it seems like because the crew believes this is why it's happening.
Then I would suggest we leave so that we're not stuck here and be a
Yes.
part of these.
Whatever's going on.
all right? So we don't want to.
Can't leave all these people here. It's still possible to save them.
No, we need to go.
Save
yeah.
yourself.
Well, I would make it a point that we wouldn't, even if we may not be able to immediately help these people without further study. We need more eyes on this situation.
I agree with that.
I can agree with that too. I just can't get behind destroying the station.
No, I don't think we should destroy the station. I think we should put beacons in in sending out a message saying, please do not go any further. Anomalous reading can be potentially dangerous. It's under study or whatever.
It's the
Now-
alien solution.
Yeah, this quarantine it. Yeah. Now, out of character to the other players here. What if we took a leap of faith right here and all believed that the doctor was alive to explain more of this to us?
I'm okay with that.
I don't think this is I think this is something that Dr. Captain Ukel might
Captain will walk. I'm figuring he's like a couple feet away from, and the doctor's probably kneeling beside him. I'm gonna say his name wrong. North is probably still kneeling beside the corpse that's leaned up against the wall, I would assume. And Soraya would be turning and looking. So I'd say, I guess I would say doctor, because he's technically the only doctor that's in the room, that's still with us. Doctor, wouldn't you agree with me? He looks like he's okay.
So he's looking at you with a face that is shifting from human to Klingon, and he says it's they have to believe it.
Narth, look at him.
Yeah.
You see him? He's okay, isn't he? Starting to wake up. Don't look at your tricorder. He's starting to wake up. You see it, right?
My antennas stand straight up.
Then
Soraya?
I get where you're going for here. Yeah, I see it.
He reaches up and grabs with a blue Andorian skin hand. He grabs Dr. Narth's shirt and he says, "You fools! They have to believe it."
That's what I was going to say, Captain. I believe it has to be those members who have been infected with the particles, because that seems to be what interconnects this phenomenon.
We need somebody needs to open up a comm to the rest of the station.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah,
we
definitely.
Vocally bombard this entire station. At the same time, I mean, what do you see, Ensign Callahan? I guess Callahan will look at him. Sorry, he looks just like someone that I would see anywhere on Earth, anywhere in the Federation. He looks. I guess he looks human to him. I don't know why Bajorn would be out so far, and I'm kind of laugh because he's leaned up against the wall doing the same thing. And then the captain would say, "Get to your feet, Doctor. Why don't you get to your feet? You've got a story to tell."
It's not enough. It's not enough, Captain.
Do you need help? Do we need to pick you up? Because you have work to do. You're not done. You have work to do. We have to get your story out to everyone else on this godforsaken station.
Captain, I mean, we could probably work something to make this visually show up on every computer screen.
Yeah, we could work on this, and we could work on the comms, and we got to get his story out. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get you guys to get on.
If we can get essentially visual. And also to have a repeating announcement saying, Dr. I forgot his name already. Dr. Ratuger is alive. He is well. He was found unconscious, but now is awake. This is just an announcement that he is alive and well. As you can see in the computer stations right next to you.
Okay.
That he is here.
We have to try to see if we can make this scientifically happen, though. Do we need to open up channels?
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm spinning a threat right now.
Amelia, allow me to one thing on that one. We also want to announce ourselves as the incoming repair crew from the Federation, and that we found the doctor in a suspended sleep inside to give them something that they can easily jump to and believe.
Yeah, well, I can use my persuasion. Yeah. If you guys could pump me through. I have persuasion and a whole bunch of charisma talk that I can use to.
I just need to know what I need to roll to make this happen.
Okay. Computers up, make it all work.
Okay.
Can we latch our tricorders into doing some kind of our pads into doing some kind of a recording?
You can definitely do this, but while you're working on it, while you're discussing these plans, I already spent one threat. Outside the room, you start to hear crashing and people yelling. It's kind of in a distance, but there's chaos, and it almost sounds like what you heard on the distress call, on the original distress call. You hear like the familiar sounds of screams and crashing and not quite the chomping yet, but you definitely hear commotion going off in the distance.
How many of us have Dauntless?
All right, so I want the two security officers, or I know we're tactical and security, whatever. If you guys want to stand the doctor up,
Okay.
that would be a fitness plus security.
Yeah.
And
Callahan, where you at, buddy?
and it's not hard to do. We'll say it's difficulty 1, and one of you can roll and the other one can assist. I'm guessing Thela probably should roll since she's a player character, and then Callahan can assist.
Thela, what's your combined
Okay.
fitness and?
She already got 2 successes.
Well, sorry, I jumped the gun.
So she did it. She's standing him up. Do you want to go ahead and roll for? You guys are maxed out on momentum.
Momentum.
All right. Well, Callahan has got a collective 14 between the two of them, so he's rolling 1 to help.
Yep.
I don't know how to roll just 1 die.
Just roll 1d20.
Well, I don't know how to select that in this little menu on the side.
You just click on the one that just says d20. It'll just roll.
Oh,
1.
just. Well, it still rolled 2. No, those are.
You rolled d100. you click 1 below it. You click 1.
I don't know
below
hard
it.
time saying that.
There you go. All right, so it was a fail, but Becca got 2 successes, so you're good. So you guys are standing him up. As you're standing him up, and he's shifting forms and all these different species.
Now he's Orion. Now he's Now he's half Orion.
And as you're doing this dark, oily, but maybe with a reddish tint liquid starts pouring out of the creases and the cracks of the walls of the panels on the walls. It just starts to drip down the sides slowly, and now the voices off in the distance are getting closer.
Question.
Yeah.
What do I need to roll to make it so that visuals and audio goes through everyone in the station?
All right, so I think that's going to be pretty complicated.
Well, can I do a hypothesis on that one?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Really, it wouldn't be that hard because the idea is that we just overload the command sequence to say, it's really not that hard. It's not like the security of visual screens is going to be.
No, it shouldn't be too difficult at all to do all ships.
You're not trying to pull anything off of it. You're just trying to push a signal through to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all stations bulletins should not be too difficult to do. It's like when a kid gets lost in the promenade, they're going to do it. So
yeah, I agree. All right, so we'll say difficulty 2, and it's insight and engineering.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll that. That's 2 die, like normal.
I will assist.
Should I buy any die?
I would, considering Bo's starting to throw thread at us.
Yeah, and we're maxed on the momentum.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna buy 1 for now.
Okay.
Or should I buy more?
Whatever you think.
We're running at the end of this. We might as well spend it out. Might as well have.
Okay. So if I want 4, that is 4 total.
You want?
If you spend three momentum, you would get 2 extra dice.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, just to double check that we can do it.
So you're gonna roll 4 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's overkill, yes, I know, but
Yeah, it's overkill.
Well, what's left over? Because I might need to have some momentum to tell these people to chill the hell out.
And you're gonna get assisted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'll just do 1.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Hopefully you don't fail now, because that'll really make me feel bad.
Alright, so that was so you're at 4.
Win this for us, Howie. We'll win the game for us. Win it. Win. Look at that 1.
Well, holy
There we
cow!
go.
You got 4 successes.
Is that the loneliest number? Is that number 1? Nope.
All right, you guys are maxed out again.
We're back now, so it doesn't work rolling.
All right, so you should definitely use that. You should definitely use a momentum spin so it doesn't just go to oblivion. What could you do?
I would say they're making a point that for the fact that we're trying to put it on every view screen in the station.
Yeah. You succeeded at that for sure.
Such a nice, really loud noise, making it so they don't look at it.
Hey, so how, like, I'm thinking about kind of like when Quark took over all the ones that, like, he started doing ads for the bar.
Quarks is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and essentially we put just a one image instead of his. Let's just say he's like a human, human as human. Just to have him an actual form, so that he doesn't keep changing between races, or being a mixture of like three.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
His original form there the whole time, so he's not flopping.
So let me tell you this. All right. So this is common momentum spins. So this is whenever in a situation like this where you've got additional momentum, you want to spend it immediately. A momentum spend, you have create opportunity, create obstacle, create information, or obtain information. I'm sorry, or create advantage. I think what you just described would fall under create advantage. Spend 2 momentum to create an advantage or remove a complication. So you guys did have 2 additional momentum because you rolled 4 and then Soraya rolled 1. So you have 2 momentum that are floating out there that are going to go away if you don't use them. So your advantage is that you're able to portray the Doctor as if it were one single species instead of constantly changing.
Laying in a biobed.
Yeah.
With our Dr. Narth beside him smiling. Look who I just saved. I saved him.
All right, so that was a successful roll. A successful roll. And you guys are projecting on the on every device in the facility, over every communications. You're ready to send out your message. We have Thela, and Callahan is holding up the Doctor like a Weekend at Bertie's kind of thing. And what do you want to say? What's the message you're sending out across all these stations?
I'll have I'm gonna, before it clicks on, I'm like, all right, everybody, I hope it goes without saying that you should all play along. All right. Does anybody have any problems with me just saying something to everybody, or?
I'll go with whatever you say.
All right, because am I going to have any kind of persuasion or anything that will help with this? Am I going to need to roll to convince them here? Oh,
Captain, could I recommend that maybe you say you're taking over temporary command of the station?
Oh, I was going to have a whole fun. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay. Because in that one, I could offer my command reroll.
There definitely would be a roll that you would need to make, but I want to hear what you're going to say first.
All right. So I'm guessing it's going to click on in 3, 2, whatever type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just when you're ready.
All right. What was the name of the station again, Bo?
Psi. Outpost Psi.
We didn't have a name for the station, did we?
No, it does. Outpost Psi. PSI. Psi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's your static and everything, and it clicks through. All right. People of Station Psi, I am Captain Ukel Foss of the USS Pierce. We arrived here hours ago to find everything in a little bit of disarray, but we made our way down to sickbay and found your doctor in a stasis unit that he had placed himself in. We also, my science officer and engineer, have found that there have been dangerous levels of dextrophospholine leaking into the life support systems of the station and slowly poisoning everyone to create a low form of a mass hysteria to have everybody panic and see things that may not necessarily be there. We have brought the doctor back to consciousness right now, as you can see. Kind of lean over to him so they can see that he's chilling out there. He's perfectly fine, and we're ready to have everything go back to normal. We have engineering crews beaming over from the piers momentarily to help with any kind of technological issues, as well as medical teams here to make sure that any kind of the poisoning from the breathing in of the gaseous fumes is also taken care of. And anyone who needs to be transported over to the piers for any kind of further medical treatment will be taken care of in that way. Thank you for your continued calm and cooperation, and we will be here to see all of you momentarily.
The chaos that you are hearing from the distance begins to die down.
Oh, thank God.
It begins to kind of subtly dissipate. The doctor starts forming into a Bolian. And it seems like maybe he's turning into only a Bolian. Noise in the distance has died down. Seems like maybe people are starting to believe what you guys presented over the intercom. And then, what would you guys like to do next?
Leave.
Yeah, get out of here.
Let's get the hell out.
Yeah.
Now, if they are starting to, right themselves like we thought they were going to be writing themselves,
So-
perhaps doing what we said we're going to put out obviously a call to Starfleet to let them know what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely the Bolian doctor, the doctor, he thanks you for what you've done, and he questions whether this was really his true form or if this is just what he remembers it. Maybe one of the ones he remembers. He's not really sure what reality really is. So you guys are able to go back to your ship. Do you want to just beam back up to your ship? Do you want to take the doctor with you? Do you want to? What's your plans as far as evacuation?
Fulfill what we said about sending some more medical teams over to check on everybody. And
Did crewman Russ ever finish that job track?
Crewman Lee Russell.
Yeah, that's right. What was he researching again? Remind me.
To see if there's any way that we could try to stabilize or reduce the amount of this particle. Because the idea is, I would worry if we left now about lapses. So if there's some way we could keep this level of exotic particle down.
Yeah.
Until something else could come to a firm reality and start working with these people.
Yeah, that's a really great. That is a really great concept. And I had not prepared for it, but I actually think that's a really good idea. So, yeah, he's been researching that. He's found that is something that you could use the ship's deflector dish to do.
At least to the point when other Starfleet vessels could arrive.
Yeah. So this would probably in a normal game, if we weren't trying to rush the ending here, in a normal game we would be able to do this using maybe an extended task or using they have a hypothesis, and they have a few systems in the core rulebook that we could do this, but we can basically assume that the crewman Russell has been doing this while you guys were on the other ship. And if you would like, if you return back to your ship, we can just make it kind of a difficult task, but definitely not impossible to do that. What would you think?
I'll say we're going to name it the Soraya treatment.
The Soraya treatment. And so it would be a science plus reason. It's at least a difficulty. I would say a difficulty 3 is probably reasonable.
How many
Again,
momentum
we
do
would
have
handle.
left?
What's that?
How much momentum do we have left?
You have 1 momentum left to spend.
All right.
And so, you guys have beamed back to the ship, or you've went back to the ship. Is that the case?
Yes.
Or are you just asking Russell to do it from the ship?
No, I'd say we'd beam back because.
You don't want, yeah. All right, so again, we probably would handle this differently if we weren't trying to wrap this up. This was supposed to be a holiday special. I didn't want it to span into 3 episodes, so I'm kind of squishing this last little bit. I do think it's a brilliant idea. I really like the idea that I think that's amazing you came up with that. So let's just do a difficulty 3 with that task, and then you can be assisted by the ships. You should be assisted by the ship in some way.
Right. I'll start with my roll.
Okay. The ship's
3 successes.
computers plus
he's good.
engineering is what I think.
Well, I already-
Oh, you already succeeded. I'm gonna roll for the ship just for the hell of it. All
least it's
right.
Like I said, it's the Soraya treatment.
Whoa, the ship did terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, complicated things.
All right, the ship made things worse. All right, so everyone beamed back to the ship. Crewman Lee Russell all this time was working on this extended project of.
That's how he does.
Yeah.
We'll have to call it Soraya Russell treatment.
And if you would, whenever you guys you made your goodbyes with the doctor, you told him to make sure that we would send Starfleet would send help, and then back on the ship, if you would describe the Soraya treatment to us briefly.
You basically see a pale green globe of energy encircle the Psi station and flicker on and off slightly, but maintain to the point where it just holds the stability. And just it's this continuing green field. It would be would hold for quite a while. It'd have a slow decay.
Okay.
And that green field would be there. Because really, the idea is that we'd have to set up some type of background radiation or some type of limiting thing that stops the effect of this. Assumedly, since it moves in and out of space, if you can find some way to temporarily stabilize quantum space.
Well, you mentioned that you were trying to separate the particles,
Right.
in order to stabilize them.
Correct.
So you were successful in doing that, and then everybody's back on the ship, on the bridge of the ship. You're writing your reports, you're planning your transmission to Starfleet, on your status, and then just as you're ready to depart the sector, the stabilization field starts to twist, and then the station itself begins to decompose. Seems like it's breaking apart, like it's like several years are passing all at once, and different versions of the ship, and it twists and turns, and then eventually disappears.
Wow.
Like it originally was. Never existed. The Psi never existed.
The Psi never existed.
Oh my God. What
That's
an
gonna
ending.
be really hard to write up.
Captain Ukel, as you staring in disbelief at what you've just seen, that the station has disappeared completely, you turn around, and then your face changes to shock, dismay. Your eyes widen as you look at the seat of the captain's chair, where a black cat is sitting curled up in a ball,
Oh, the cat.
purring loudly.
No, Dante. I got up for those.